One of my interests in the world is America and African slaves. I think that America follows on from the traditions of Europe in slavery and adopting slaves, and in particular African slaves. I don't think many countries in world history have adopted African slaves. They've perhaps enslaved people. I think Europe, foremost in world history, has adopted slavery and kind of enslaves people, maybe as a result of warfare or for the means of domestic production. So I think that America, as a modern country, has followed the example of Europe in adopting slavery, but African slavery. I think that America founded itself from European settlers in around about 1490, and pretty much soon after, around about 1500 or 1550, it sent kind of like ships to West African coast, I think close to Nigeria. It just sent ships there to trade slaves, because slaves are valuable commodities. It's kind of like livestock, but more valuable than livestock because it's human life trade. So it's kind of traded like a livestock, but it's human life, so it's more valuable than livestock. So I think they sent a lot of trade ships to Africa to trade slaves, and it's a very valuable commodity. I think they traded millions of slaves. They kind of kidnapped them with slave masters. So they kind of gave them no options. They just bound their hands and ankles and things, and put them on trade ships and sent them back to America. And I think they were used as a labor force and kind of like cattle. So they were used for producing things, like cattle is used for meat and milk and skins and things. And I think that African slaves were used for labor production, but also as a valuable human life commodity. So I think they were sent to tobacco fields, cotton fields and sugar plantations. And I think that America kind of built its own economy and domestic production based on slavery. So it's kind of like a sophisticated means of domestic production with purchase of a labor force. So I think that it is a serious consideration to see that America has adopted some kind of economic notion of slavery and cotton and tobacco production. I think that's what America has kind of built its country on, in those kind of means. So I think that's quite important. But the legacy of adopting slavery, of course, is a very different psychology in a country, in its people. They accept that slavery is okay, and this is kind of like enforcing slavery on a person. It could be worse than caging an animal, because slavery with a human being is kind of forced labor and slavery. So it's kind of like a fascism. That's what European slavery is. It's kind of like a fascism. And I think with this adoption of slavery, but a black form of slavery, like African slavery, is kind of saying that it's okay for modern society to conduct itself in the world with slavery. So I think that America has pioneered a modern form of slavery in the world, and this is very shocking and very frightening as a concept, that there can be some kind of a concept and justification of slavery in the world. Most people think that slavery was wiped out in the ancient times, maybe with the Greeks or something, and Europe. But if we look at the world today, you can see that it's still very popular in modern America. We still have African people who are very much environmentally indoctrined with slavery. So we do have this condition in modern world, and it sends the world backwards. I think it kind of sends it back. So I think that it is very concerning that the world is held back by this notion of modern day slavery. Thank you very much.